Bzil friends. Today we are taking a look at 10 of my best fragrance purchases of the year. Some of which are actually released this year and some that I have picked up personally. Not in any particular order. I have nothing in the mail and I am flying out of France soon for the end of December. So no more new fragrances. In the end, I will also share some fragrances that I have on my wish list for next year. First up, a couple of exceptional mentions. This is Nexen by Tury. With this, I did something that I have not done in a couple of years, that is the good old blind buy, as I had no way of testing it as it's a limited edition. I had a good discount on top as well. I like all the side construction here, the musky, the woody, soapy, clean, fresh, borderline, caustic, aldehyde qualities coming from the geranium, musk, orange blossom, sandalwood and iris. What I'm not keen on is the mossy, sharp, almost plasticky vetiver that really is central to the dry down. I'm a big fan of Tury. His Au Coeur, L'air and especially Lone Star are some of my favorites. But this one, for the price, being an extrait and the outer space theme, was a bit of a letdown for me. But I will keep testing it and revisit it after a while to see if my thoughts change. Next is Hermès Tutti Twi by Christine Nagel, which I never thought I would like and wear for obvious reasons. This is a flanker to Tuile d'Hermès centered on lychee and ginger with the backbone of the original with a tuberose orange blossom in here. Not too sweet, most of the lychee scents really go to that sugary, candy, sweet side. This one kind of keeps it more natural with some bitterness and tartness, that smooth, soft, tropical fruitiness of lychee. Maybe some clean patchouli and musk in the base. Really like heightened naturalism applied to a lychee, ginger, fruit cocktail. What also makes this scent for me is it has something that is slightly off, some kind of natural, manky, dirty quality along with the fruitiness. Because of this, has gotten a very mixed response, but I like it. Fairly unisex if you're a fan of lychee fruit. Now let's do the scents that actually came out this year, starting off the actual 10. Another good old blind buy, but this time it was a great success, and that is Rock by Roberto Greco, created by Christopher Sheldrake. Another one I couldn't sample but got to buy it from Javoy. Very abstract composition, but in general a musty, floral, ambery, spicy leather, almost chypre-like, stylistically vintage, has this compost kind of vibe, dries down to a leather with this salty, dark, musky smell, slightly oceanic with the synthetic called amber rome in the background, dried florals like osmanthus and acacia which have the texture of a champagne cork, something humanistic like blurred memories, dreamy, somewhat haunting, dirty but also beautiful. The description does not justify it, but a thorough composition. I'm not even going to try to fully describe it here. We'll do a full review in the coming months. At 9 we have Abir Rouge Privé from Guerlain by Delphine Gelk. I like and respect the original. Many people including perfumers consider it to be one of the best scents ever. Personally, I'm more of a heritage and derby kind of guy. Was not big on dress code and instinct versions either. So when I smell this modernized, darker take with emphasized orange blossom and leather, rounded off by some iris, I was quite taken with it. More of a fall scent compared to the fresh, citrusy EDT or even the EDP. Maybe not as complex, but nowadays I reach for this one more. At number 8, we have Cologne Officinale from Heeley. Yet another modernized take on old school masculine aromatics. Herbal, very much in the south of France, Provence style. Quite soapy and crayon wax-like texture with this one. Almost like you lathered with a Marseille soap, didn't rinse and let it dry. Finishes with the oak mossy dry down. Really nice, especially considering the price for niche houses at the minute. Also fairly rich, so can be too much for summer, and that's why it's one of my most wanted scents of this fall. At number 7 we have Heaven Can Wait from Frederic Malle by Jean-Claude Ellena. Another one of my most worn fall scents. This is Elena's style of minimalism and transparency applied to warm spices. Just a simmering of clove and pimento with a rich buttery iris in the background, rounded off by some carrot seeds and fruity touches. Dries down to a musky ambrette, slightly sweet vanilla and vetiver with a throwback to old school carnation scents. Really a pleasant wear, does not weigh you down with those heavier notes. More like smelling a dusting of spices on a cool early morning kind of vibe with this one. Has been quite divisive, but I think it's a nice break from all the heavy malt scents that have been released in recent times and harkening back to his L'Eau d'Hiver days. So these 4 actually came out this year, all having that modern interpretation of vintage style scents, which I think is really the theme of this year for me. At number 6 is Iris Silver Mist from Serge Lutens, created by Maurice Roussel almost 30 years ago. This one has been hard to get and has a cult following. I love Iris, one of my top 3 notes, and this one I have wanted for a long time for a decent price. Finally got it this year, and it is indeed really good. Quite a haunting, brooding, earthy take on the Iris theme. Quite evocative of just being lost in a dense fog in a forest kind of vibe. Earthy, rhizome-like, waxy, somewhat spicy and mentholated from the clove. When you smell this, it is also a revelation on how many fragrances since then have been influenced by it. At number 5, we have Bois Mystique from Houbigant by Luca Maffei, a fresher, light-handed take on the spicy cedar incense theme that we can see in the likes of French Lover, Royal Wood and Gucci Pour Homme. Opens fresh and spicy with a combination of ginger and black pepper, then gets to the slightly resinous incense heart and dries down to a clean, dry cedar wood and camphorous amber and possibly a fresh oud accord in the background. Very gentlemanly, classy scent. Another one of my most worn scents of this fall. At number 4, we have Bois de Turquie from Maître Parfumeur et Gantier, made by Jean-Paul Millelage. I got to smell this maybe 5 years ago when I had gone in to test Ambre Précieux. Smelled this and thought I like this better, but never got around to buying it till now. This is one of the smoothest aromatic woody amber scents that I have smelled. Opens with a creamy orange and rosy geranium combination, reminding me a bit of Noir Apis from Frederic Malle. Dries down to this soft, slightly powdery sandalwood, incense and patchouli scent. It is really a tender, beautiful, gentle composition, so elegant with the signature woody base of the house and that baroque red carpet 17th century French style. I didn't use up all of this, it leaked on the way, so I got a partial refund, but would definitely repurchase when this is done. At number 3, we have another Bois scent, this time from Chanel, made almost a century ago by Ernest Beau, and that is Bois des Îles. This is obviously a vintage EDT bottle, that Chanel dressy, perfumey kind of scent that is here. Aldehydes on the floral heart of iris, jasmine and rose are toned down slightly. Some peach, soft, spicy qualities at the top, amplified ylang in the mid, and prominent sandalwood in the dry down. Just a proper Chanel classic. Of course, now part of the less exclusive collection and has been referenced by several scents like Egoist and Samsara. At number 2, we have L'Ombre des Merveilles from Hermès, created by Christine Nagel, flanker to the original Eau des Merveilles, of course. An interesting take on fire sparkles and this effervescent character without going in the aquatic or aldehydic direction. Takes that orangey, mineralic, salty, suede, ambergris accord of the original and adds some darker notes like black tea and incense, creating a more brooding scent profile compared to the happier, sparkling qualities of the original. Has that inverted scent pyramid interpretation going on here as well. One of the more interesting designer scents in recent times. Next, at number 1 is a scent that came from last year out of nowhere and blew me away. This is Les Nuits by Astier de Villatte, created by Dominique Ropion. Astier de Villatte is a traditional French ceramic maker. I've bought some gifts from them before. End of last year, I saw that they have made some fragrances with some interesting history behind them. This is apparently a reinterpretation of a scent recovered from a small vial that was used by the renowned French novelist Georges Sand during the mid-1800s. And this smells very much like a scent from that time, only made with modern techniques, which is again a recurring theme for me this year. The scent itself is a dusty, musty undergrowth in a cave, romance in candlelight kind of vibe. Mostly a rose patchouli scent, and no, nothing like Portrait of a Lady. Has some civet, castoreum and leather in the base, creating a balmy dry down, all polished by the striking melancholic iris note. It is such a beautiful, evocative, emotional scent. I'm testing other creations from the house and they have been really good as well. We'll save my thoughts for the full review, but yeah, I think it is probably the best work of Dominique Ropion since Portrait of a Lady. And to wrap up with my wish list, there is Vanille Van from Les Indomadables, which I like for the rich cocoa, vanilla and tobacco. There is Trey from Lila Vermeer, which is spicy woody concoction based on Vedic period of India, and Ashoka, a figgy woody scent, both of which I missed out when they were at discounters. I'm also keen on Anubis by Papillon, this balmy amber leather scent, which I haven't picked up as it has similarities to Amber Kiso from DS and Durga. Not exactly the same. Amber Kiso is more modern, whereas Anubis is more classic. And finally, Bois d'Arménie from Guerlain. Because of the benzoin kick that I'm having, it was a bit too soft, so I'm still thinking about it. And obviously the main reason is these are just quite expensive, some not even 100 mls. So I'm really taking my time to see if I can get them discounted, third-party marketplace or a partial. But anyway, That wraps up my final video of the year. Happy holidays, and I will see you in the new year. Take care and ciao.